Hey, what's up, everybody? John Kirkpatrick here, going to talk about basic metal fills and beats today. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make our percussion track. There we go. Alright, now, one of the most basic metal fills I see everywhere, and there's a good reason, a lot of good reasons for this fill being everywhere, is this guy right here, where we like to call it, I guess 2/2, if you will. And I'll explain what I'm talking about here in a sec. Alright, perfect. So, what we got going on here is 2 bass drums, 2 snare drums, 2 bass drums, toms, bass, tom, bass, tom. And when you envision that on a kit, or if you are a drummer yourself, you've probably come across this fill, or at least know it's one of the more easy fills to play, or at least speed up. So, from the drummer's perspective, all that you've got going on is dropping your legs right, left, and then your hands right, left. As in bass, bass, snare, snare, bass, bass, tom, tom. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, for all those hits. And what's really cool about that is per group of 16th notes, each limb only has to do one hit. So it makes this fill extremely, extremely efficient when you want to be playing really, really fast, because you're literally using all of your limbs in pretty much the most efficient way that you can, at least for going for fast fills and whatnot. So let's take a listen. Cool. And you can also reverse that, obviously, no problem if you were just to do hands first. Imagine doing that 4 times around the toms and whatnot. You can also put them together, so like, in this case, since, if we put the measures together, then we'll have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, and you get the pattern going in 2. So it'll kind of flip the pattern on its head. Right? So now all of a sudden our hands have the downbeat, if you will, or at least the pulse, the 1. But yeah, so that's probably one of the most basic metal fills I see, but it's everywhere, again, for the reasons that it's really energy efficient, it sounds really fast, you can do it forever, essentially. I mean, you can literally sit there for hours just doing this fill at way faster tempos, too. A lot of time you'll see it, like, you know, around this tempo. And even that, again, I promise you, as a drummer speaking from experience, that's a really, really easy fill to play. But yeah, so some ways that this fill gets changed up a little bit is by doing different notes. A lot of times we'll see 16th note triplets. I like to see this guy a lot. So this is what we like to call 4/2. So what's going on is we've got 4 up top with our hands, and then 2 with our bass drum below it. This can be a little bit more of a challenging fill to take on right away if you're new to drumming or new to metal fills. But once you get it down, it's pretty much just as easy as the other fill I was just talking about. And this one sounds, in some cases, even more impressive. That's pretty fast. It's definitely doable for a lot of people, but to give you guys a better idea of what that would sound like. There you go. So again, another one that sounds really, really fast, sounds pretty intense. Depending on where you put it in a song, you can get it to be a really nice build-up, etc., etc. But again, when you look at the energy behind it from a drummer's perspective, this is another one of those fills that we can just do all day, because we're dividing that energy between our feet and our hands, and it gives us that small little, these 2 notes right here of breathing time for our hands is ginormous. It lets our hands do this over and over and over and over without tiring. And it's weird because it's such a small space, but it makes all the difference. Yeah, so as far as basic metal beats go, I showed you guys, you know, the very basic, straightforward double bass beat. That's pretty common. I guess I'll show you a couple ways you can variate that. It really depends on what you've got going on for your rhythm guitar. A lot of times the double bass will follow whatever the rhythm guitar is doing. So, say you had this kind of pattern. This is a pretty common pattern. Oops. Right? Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN. You can also reverse that, so say you did something like that. Right, you get kind of a cooler, weirder sound by doing just even the smallest things like that. You know, can completely change the beat and make it sound way different. It actually is showing me that there's a hi-hat there. Oh, it's on the bottom. Yep, there you go. Okay, messed up that right there. No worries. So yeah, now I'd like to show you guys a song. I'm gonna bring this one up. It is Between the Buried and Me, Obfuscation. So let's check out the drums and see what's going on here. So I'm actually just gonna solo the drums for right now, and I'm gonna let it play for a little bit, and we're gonna see what the fills are and what's going on. Alright, so that's a pretty good amount of material to go over for an intro. So you'll notice in the very beginning of the song, it was kind of just hits, and that's to follow what the lead guitar is going to do. Sorry, I meant rhythm guitar, not lead guitar. The lead guitar is obviously doing its own thing. But yeah, the hits and whatnot are complementing the rhythm guitar. And as I was saying earlier, a lot of times your bass drum is going to match up with whatever the rhythm guitar is doing. So let's see here. So we've got the hits, some more hits, and we've got this first intro fill, which is just a triplet fill, 3 snares, 3 toms. And then this is kind of a cool transitionary thing that BTBAM does this kind of stuff a lot, where they'll have a lot of cymbal hits, a lot of snare hits, and almost a weird feel to it, but makes for really, really good transitions the way they go about this. And you'll notice our favorite fill is right here. The way he does this is actually really cool, or at least the guy who tabbed it out believes it's this way, which is he's waiting one 16th note triplet to start that fill, but you'll notice it's just 2 over 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then it leads into this fill, which is all hands just running up and down the toms kind of thing. Oops, that scroller is terrible for this program sometimes. But yeah, so let's take a listen to that. Solo that this time. So, really cool fill. Again, it's pretty elementary, as I was just showing that those kinds of fills are a little bit more basic. The placement on it, though, is a lot more creative than normal, so that's cool. Then you'll notice he's got some open hi-hat stuff, and then these ghost note snares are actually kind of a build-up snare, if you will, which is a cool way to lead into that next part. And then right here we've got that kind of almost gallop-esque beat, and I'm more than willing to bet if we check out the rhythm guitar for that part, it's going to be very similar to the kinds of hits. Yep. So if we solo the rhythm guitar, anytime there's that palm muting, you're going to notice there's going to be bass drum. And as far as metal goes, that's just kind of how it is. Putting that double bass behind those the kind of chunks, if you will, for riffs, really just give a lot of power to that combination. So sometimes you'll see the rhythm and the bass drum differentiate, but usually you have to have it in such a way that makes a cool enough rhythm for it to make sense to not, put them together, if you will. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool fill and beat correlation, I guess, for this band and metal in general. Um, let's see. Let's go a little bit further here. Okay, so we had some more fills. Okay, so this was kind of a cool beat too. What he's doing here is he's alternating the right hand between the China and the ride, keeping an upbeat, if you will, on the ride, and then having the snare on the downbeat. So check out how that sounds. And because it's in 7/8, he's doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. So he has those on the downbeats, and then because we lose an eighth note, the next official quote-unquote downbeat of the next measure is right here. So yeah, that's another cool way of, putting some drum stuff together, and it goes well with that lead on top. Oops. And then you can see in the rhythm as well, everything's pretty much, these guys are really good at complementing every part that's going on throughout their songs. But yeah, so that's a good overview of some basic metal beats, basic metal fills, and here's some, good context. I would definitely check these guys out if you're looking for more interesting fills. The drummer, I believe, actually stated that he wasn't super interested in trying to use his double bass pedal a lot for fills. So I know the couple fills we looked at, he was using that generic fill. But as you can actually, right here, you can see there's only 1 foot between these hits. This is a lot more difficult to do, but it can come up with a much more unique sound, if you will, just because it's not used as much. Us guys in the metal world typically get a little bit more gung-ho on the double bass, so we're always about, trying to throw it in those 2 hits when we can, if you will. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, please feel free to message me, and we can discuss what's going on. Alright, thanks guys for watching.